Greetings from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Friday, June 24. There's a lot of paint gone, and we thought we'd once again walk you through the method that we use to release screws. It is another one of John's creative solutions that begins with a Rotoabroach.
First thing we do is we take the Rotoabroach and we drill out the filler that's in the holes for the screws. And then we will take the pick the center out at the same time we hit it with A. Clean the screw out. And these are felt.
What we have here are all of the original Chris Craft driven original screws. As you can see, they are flathead brass Phillips head screws.
And of course, you'll have a row in the frames, then you'll have a row in the smaller rib in there. So as we go, we'll find that the screws are much shorter going into the small rib than in the frames. Them there are shorter screws. These will come out, this will come out of the frame. And so as you can see, with this method, it works very nice.
There we go.
And then we're back at the Roto Master here.
Now let's take a look at this U22 from the perspective of the stem and the bow looking back. First, you understand almost immediately why the U22 is renowned for its ability to cut through the water. Just look at the shape of the front quarter of the bottom of the hull. Just beautiful. But I've got a surprise for you. Imagine yourself trying to run a boat business, boat manufacturing business in 1946, and you've decided that in addition to the Spanish cedar topside planking on your U22 that you paint white, because you can get a lot of Spanish cedar, you would also make a few what are called bright boats, bright U22s, that are planked with mahogany on the top sides. Well, just imagine the challenge of sourcing mahogany right after World War II. So if Spanish cedar is good enough for the top sides, voila, Spanish cedar is good enough for the bottom. This bottom is original. How do I know? Well, take a look at places where it has not been worked on. It is fastened by reed-in prints, brass fasteners all the way through. Where it has been worked on is absolutely evident and clear because, and it pained me to see it, it was worked on in Canada. It looks like it was refastened amongst other things with Robertson square drive fasteners, but oh, the hated stainless steel. This was done, if I remember correctly from what the owner shared with me, in about 1992. These outer planks cover the area, particularly the chine plank, cover the area where the chine framing has been sistered on each side. So I'm pretty sure that this plank was removed entirely. We'll know better once we get it off. But isn't that interesting? Everything is cedar, and that explains why it soaked up so much oil. Cedar's like a sponge. And Chris Craft knew, the designers knew, that this little section of the hull is below the chine, but above the waterline. So this was going to be visible and finished bright. Except, let's not put two mahogany boards on. We'll just sort of sneak in a little chunk of cedar. So this plank, which is cedar, finishes here. And that cedar is visible, and our challenge is going to be to make it look like this, except that we're not accepting that challenge. We're removing all of these planks in order to install a 5200 bottom, and quite honestly, there is just no way in hell I'm going to reinstall this old cedar planking. It is just not mahogany. It's not the wood that mahogany was, is, or ever will be. And because it's cedar, every place where these fasteners are driven through an inch or so apart is an area that's just prone to breaking and failing. I still don't understand this stupid patch, but there it is. And so where we are tonight is knowing that rather than replacing aft planking, you can see the X's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planks. The chine plank is also cedar, so all of it's going to be replaced. We will save the one mahogany board, simply because it plays such an important part of the history of this model. And then as we clean things off today and started removing screws and pulled out the strut, we realize we've got some serious keel problems from about here to the transom. If you scan back to the earlier videos on the 53 Shepherd runabout, you'll realize that she suffered the same fate. So what we will do here is work aft of the prop shaft tunnel and scarf in a section of oak keel. And guess what? There won't be a butt joint in the piece, in the repair. It looks like we'll be replacing the chines themselves because, here we go. Same guy, same butt joint. What a love affair. This is mahogany, this is oak. This should be mahogany and will be mahogany. But that's where we are on Friday, June 24. As I have time this weekend, I will continue releasing fasteners. By the middle of the day, Monday, we should have the port side of this bottom completely stripped of planking and have all of the structural members exposed for examination and evaluation. So, thank you very much. Goodbye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.